बच्चों, welcome to yet another power packed session of ROAR series, and today is most awaited and most requested session, which is transformation of graphs. So in this session we are going to start with some standard graphs and we are going to learn a lot about transformation of graphs. So when we need to shift the graph rightwards, when we need to shift the graph leftwards, upward, downward, when we need to scale the graph, mode of fx, when we need to take the mirror image also, right? So all these things we will study, but along with some question solving. So the questions of the type number of solutions when this equation becomes equals to this equation, okay? So number of solution of a particular equation, how to get from a graphical approach, that we are going to see in this today's session. This session is going to be a lot more helpful, first of all, for JEE main questions of the types find the number of solutions, right? Number two, it is helpful for area under curve as well, right? So in area under curve, you have to plot the graph and then extract the area. So plotting the curve, sketching the curve is an art that we are going to learn in today's session. But before I start, let me know that whether I'm perfectly audible and visible. Sadia Sultana is asking, ma'am, graph comes under which chapter? So let me tell you that graph is actually is not sticking to a particular chapter, but I would say that graphs come under quadratic equation also, graphs come under whole calculus also, right? It comes under trigonometric functions also. So basically, if I just tell you about the graph, so graph is there in trigonometry, that we will also see. Graphs come of modulus also, right? Functions also. Then we have application of derivatives. So graph is already there in so many chapters. And sometimes what we do is we struggle a lot whenever the graphical question occurs. So this session is to boost your confidence and to make you love the graphs, okay? All right. Yes, Tarun, I can see you are asking a doubt. How this session is going to be not very long, okay? So we'll try to finish it off in less than 2 hours, but let us see, okay? All right. Yes, like the session right away and graph supremacy, kya baat hai? All right, and share this session with your fellow JEE aspirants. So first of all, before actually starting transformation of graphs, I want you to know some standard graphs. So are we ready to know some standard graphs? Yes, yes, yes. And also for all of those who are new to the channel, this is my brief introduction. My name is Namrata and I have over more than 10 years of teaching experience. Okay. I have taught both in online and offline and got various selections in top institutes as well. Okay. So now let us, is it very easy or not? So graphs are very easy. For me it is very easy, and now you will know that, ma'am, yes, you were saying that graphs are not that difficult. Okay. It is fun chapter. I would say this is 100% a fun chapter. Okay. Now graphs of some standard functions. Let us understand graphs of some standard function. So this is purely y equals to x. Y equals to x line, so you all know. Yes or no? Y equals to x line says that over here that this y equals to x is, so angle over here is theta equals to 45 degree. Okay. So theta is nothing but 45 degree. So that is your slope, or you can say that m equals to tan theta is equals to 1. Here why? Because theta is 45 degree. So y equals to x, or function of x is equals to x, is a straight line, my dear students. Okay. So this is a straight line which is passing through origin. Very basic function. I hope that you all know about it, right? Nothing new about it. Majority of you all know. Now y is equals to x square is a parabola which is symmetric about y. Did you notice this is symmetric about y axis? Symmetric about y axis, and so this is actually an even function. This is an even function, right? And if I talk about that, it passes through 0, 0, passes through 0, 0. So what are the roots of this equation? Tell me. Passes through origin, that is 0, 0, and roots of this equation are real and equal. So real and equal roots of this quadratic 0, 0, x equals to 0, 0 are both the roots of this particular parabola. Easy peasy lemon squeezy till now. I hope that this is easy now. Can you look at this? Y is equals to x raised to power 4. Now can you see that, ma'am, y is equals to x square and y is equals to x raised to power 4 actually are looking exactly same. What is the difference? Okay. So if I just want to plot the graph of y equals to x square in this graph, will they overlap with each other? Tell me. Will they overlap with each other? Will they coincide with each other? Or they will not be able to coincide with each other? Now this thing is very important. Okay. So x square and x raised to power 4. Let us check that what happens over here. The moment I put, so these two quantities obviously will become equal when you put x equals to 1. So the moment I put x equals to 1, okay, 1 second, yeah. So this is x square, this is x raised to power 4 and this is the value of x, okay. Now the moment you put x equals to 0. Let's say 5. When x is equals to 0.5, this will become 0.5 ka square, which is going to be equal to 0.25, correct? And here it is 0.5 ka power 4, that is 0.25 ka square, so 0.0625. What does that mean? What does that mean? Can you see that if I compare x raised to power 4 and x raised to power 2 at the value 0.5, I can clearly see that my x square is greater. My x square is greater than x raised to power 4. Exactly when I put x equals to fraction, when I put x belongs to 0, 1. When I see that my x is a fraction, then my x square will be, so x square is this quantity, so this quantity will be above x raised to power 4. So see, x raised to power 4 is here and then x square is here. Now they both will be equal. The moment I put x equal to 1, tell me this is 1 square, so 1 raised to power 4 is also 1. Okay. So over here, can you clearly see this is your 1? Correct. Now this is your 1 and so x square and x raised to power 4 both will meet. Okay, what will happen if I put x equals to, let's say, 2? So 2 square will be 4, 2 raised to power 4 will be 16, right? So at x equals to 2, clearly my x raised to power 4 is bigger. So this time x raised to power 4 is bigger than x square, but when I put x belongs to 1 to infinity. So over here my x raised to power 4 will be above and my x square will be below. So now can you see that what is happening over here? My graph of, now if I carefully just plot this graph of x square, how will it look like? It will look like this. This is a parabola and like this. Okay, all right. And since x square is symmetric about y axis, same I have to symmetry about this. So this is going to be the graph of x square. Did you notice? Understood nicely or not? Audio is not clear kya? Adjust mic. Okay, okay, sorry. Something. Okay. Now I guess it's fine. Okay, I guess it's fine, hai na? So what happened over here? Did you notice that from 0 to 1, my x square was greater than x raised to power 4, but after 1 what happened? My x raised to power 4 will become greater than x square, and when exactly they are equal, so they are equal at x equals to 1 and they are also equal at x equals to minus 1. Okay, this is very important observation, by the way, my dear students, right? Okay, all right. Okay, one student is asking about offline center in Tamil Nadu. So yes, there is a center in Tamil Nadu. You can check, the link is already given in the description box. You can click on the link and book the demo. Okay, and let me just run that ticker also. So 2025 and 2026 batches are going live this month. Click on the link in the description box and book visit at your nearest Vedantu Learning Center and get exclusive discounts also. Okay. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Clear? Now, yes, this though I have already told you, no, this is just a reinforcement. Can you see that x square is equal to x raised to power 4? If I say that this is your x square, now can you see? Now can you see the animation? If I compare x raised to power 2 and x raised to power 4, so exactly when they are equal, tell me in the chat box. Number of solution of x raised to power 2 and x raised to power 4. What are the number of solution? So there are 3 solutions, right? 0, okay, 1 and minus 1. Okay, and so we have already seen that from 0 to 1 what happens is your x raised to power 4 is lesser. So this is your x raised to power 4 and this is your x square. And after that x raised to power 4 picks up. Okay. Alright, I hope that this is clear now. Now let us talk about cubic function x cube. Okay, so let us talk about x cube. So this is your graph of y equals to x cube. Now let me just draw the graph, multiple graphs. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot the graph of y equal to x. Can I do that? Y equal to x. Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plot the graph of y equals to x square, right? So y equals to x, then x square will look like this. Easy till now. This is your x square. Now y is equals to x cube. Okay, and this is, by the way, this is your. Now tell me, if I talk about x square and x cube, did you notice x is bigger, then x square is smaller, x cube will be way more smaller between 0 to 1 I am talking about, but after 1 my x cube will be bigger. So this is the graph of, approximate graph of x cube over here. The comparative study we are doing, but x cube is, so x cube graph looks like this. Why? Because see, y equals to x cube. When your x is positive, your y is also positive. X positive, y positive. So that's why we are seeing it in first quadrant. X positive, both are positive, which quadrant? First quadrant. But when you put minus 1 over here, that means your x is negative. Minus 1 you put, y is also negative. So that's why the graph you can clearly see in third quadrant. And this is symmetric graph, symmetric about origin, symmetric about origin. Symmetric about origin. Okay, this is symmetric about origin. This is an odd function also. Okay, and now your graph of y is equals to x cube will look like this. And the third graph which I'm gonna plot is x raised to power 4, which is even more lesser than x cube, but after that it picks up and it is x raised to power 4. Okay, but this is an even function, that's why we need to plot it this way. So x raised to power 4, if I plot in this curve now, it will look like this. Okay, it will be below and this is your minus 1. All right. Yes, clear. Okay. So now we are comparing y is equals to x and x cube. So obviously x will be bigger, x cube will be smaller. When your x is fraction, but after that x cube will be picking up and x will be lesser than that. Okay. All right, now this graph, this very graph, if you can see, very important graph, this is a rectangular hyperbola. Y equals by x is rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola. Okay, so understand y is equals to 1 by x. Tell me one thing. Now one thing I will ask, you will let me know in the chat box. Okay, so the very first thing is, just tell me, when x is positive, y is what? Ma'am, when x is positive, y is also positive. So both positive, which quadrant? Ma'am, first quadrant. So you can clearly see the graph will be in first quadrant, first of all. Okay, so that we will plot the graph. And tell me, when x is negative, so ma'am, when x is negative, y will also be negative, right? So graph will be in third quadrant. And obviously this is an odd function, symmetric about origin. Symmetric about origin. All right, now let's plot the graph. Just tell me one thing. When my x is from 0 to 1, my y will be reciprocal of a fraction. Understand? Whenever my x is a fraction, my y will be what? Reciprocal of a fraction. So if x is a fraction, so y will be 1 upon fraction, 1 upon 0.1. So this is going to be 10. Okay. So over here, whenever you see that your x is lying between 0 and 1, that is my x's fraction. Did you notice your x's fraction over here? Right? Whenever your x is fraction, what does that mean? That your y, which is 1 by x, that is going to be greater than 1. Take an example. When you have x equals to 0.1, your y will be 1 upon 0.1, which is 10. So did you notice? X is a fraction and y is greater than 1. Right? So if x is a fraction, if you can see, between 0 to 1, you will get all the values which are greater than 1. So can you see? Now can you see that this graph is indicating that whenever you have x 0 to 1, your y is what? Greater than 1. And vice versa. Now if you increase the value of x, so if your x is greater than 1, now your y will become less than 1. So if your x is greater than 1, y will be less than 1. Okay, alright, these two things are sorted again. X positive, so y positive. X negative, y negative, right? Now since it is an odd function, so we don't have to bother about everything. If you have plotted the graph over here, you can clearly plot the graph like this. Okay, and also, do I need to tell you that if y is equals to 1 by x, if I put x equals to x tend to 0 plus, what will I get? 1 upon 0 plus will tend towards infinity, so y will tend to infinity. So x 0 positive, y will be infinity positive. Remember we saw that in limits chapter. Okay, when x was 0 minus this part, your y will be what? Minus infinity, which is here. Plus infinity is here. So this is a rectangular hyperbola. Okay, standard functions you should know. Now, modulus. How many of you know the graph of modulus function? Tattva book, hai na? Tattva book is all about JEE main questions, I would say. So JEE main previous year questions. So absolutely, if you are a beginner or you're an advanced learner, this book to must have. PYQ every student should have. Okay, all right. Yes. Now modulus. How many of you know that how does a modulus function look like? So fx equals to mod x. Now mod x is equals to what? X when x is greater than or equal to 0. Mod x will be equals to minus x when x will be less than or equal to 0. Simple definition. We have already seen that, right? Yes. V shape. Yashna is saying V shape. Everybody is saying V shape. So let me reveal the graph of y is equals to modulus x. V shape graph you will get. So when your x is positive, you have to draw y is equals to x. When your x is negative, you have to draw y is equals to minus x. Okay, all right, clear? So this is the graph of modulus of x. Amazing book. Sadia Sultana is saying amazing book. Great, great. So modulus function graph, I hope that this is clear. Now what is the graph of? What is the graph of exponential function? Tell me. Graph of exponential function, are you able to recall it? We have already studied this graph in functions chapter. Right or wrong? Okay. So graph of exponential function, it will actually depend on the base a. If your base a is greater than 1, suppose 2 raised to power x or 3 raised to power x, then you will get a graph like this, which is clearly visible that this is actually an increasing function. Did you notice? This is an increasing function. Okay. All right. And now, if your a is less than 1 but still greater than 0, that means 1 by 2 raised to power x or 1 by 3 raised to power x, like that. Okay, so the graph is clearly decreasing function. What is the commonality, point of commonality between two curves? So point of commonality is this 0, 1. It will satisfy this, satisfy this also. The moment you put x equals to 0, you get y is equals to 1. Yes, Adiksha, absolutely right. Hai na? Clear? Now logarithmic function. Now just like your exponential function, we have two different cases for logarithmic function. So the very first case is when your base is greater than 1, it will look like half bouquet. So I always tell my student how to remember the graph of log x. So remember, how does a bouquet look like? Flower bouquet. So flower bouquet look like this, like this. One flower here, one flower. So this is the full bouquet. But we are not here to find full bouquet. So it will look like half bouquet. Okay. So half bouquet is the trick to remember. Half bouquet. Okay. And now can you see? Again, this is for base greater than 1. That means log of x to the base e, or you can call it as ln x. So graph of ln x or log x to the base e will look like this. Now when base is less than 1, for this condition, you just have to reverse the graph. It will look like this. Now what is the point of commonality? Can you tell me? So both the graphs passes through 1, 0 point, 1, 0. The moment you put x equals to 1, you get y is equals to 0. Okay, ma'am. Okay. And also log x and log x, basically a raised to power x and log of x to the base a. These two are inverse of each other. Inverse of each other, right? Actually, we are not getting into the functions part, but these are inverse of each other. We have seen that. Okay. All right. Hi, Gunjan. How are you? Now, transformation of graphs. Transformation of graphs. And now we are going to start. Okay. Now you all have to stick to this session, transformation of graphs. Now the fun part starts. The fun part starts now. Okay. Nobody dare to leave this session in between now. What is the color of the background? Yeah, it is good, na? It is not white, because if I keep background white color, what do you say? You will be like, if I keep background white color, you will be like, ma'am, it's too much getting into our eyes. And when I put, so black was not working out because I have the graph color was not matching with the black color PPT. So I have to keep in between. Okay. Chalo, let's start, okay? Now, vertical shift graph or downward shift graph. Please understand that. So whenever you have, suppose a function you are having, suppose I would say sin x. Sin x you are having, right? So sin x graph, how does sin x graph look like? Tell me. So ma'am, sin x look like this. Sin x graph? Yes. Now if you have to plot sin x plus 2. So this is y is equals to sin x, and now you have to put y is equals to sin x plus 2. So what you need to do is you need to shift this graph 2 units above. Now this is your 1. Is it visible? Is it visible? 1 is visible, right? So now you need to, so this is 0 and this is minus 1, right? Now the moment you add any number to the whole function, please understand that we are adding to sin x and not to x. So understand, this is not sin x plus 2. No, this is wrong. What I am saying is I am just adding. So basically the type is this. If you can observe, fx is gone to fx plus a. Then what will happen? The graph will shift on upward a units. So I need to shift this graph. How many units upward? How many units upward? 2 units upward, okay? So this 1 now will become what? 3. 2 units. So if you add 2 to this quantity, it will become 3. If you add 2 to this quantity, it will become 2. So now it will be like this. The graph will be like this. Can you see that I have clearly shifted the graph 2 units above? Just push the graph. Did you listen to that song? अदनान सामी का. If you have not, please listen. मुझको भी तो लिफ्ट करा दे, थोड़ी सी तो लिफ्ट करा दे. Have you listened to that song? है ना, तो मुझको भी तो लिफ्ट करा दे. तो you have to lift this graph of sin x 2 units upwards. Okay, so over here you have to lift this graph sin x 2 units upward. Why? Because Adnan Sami says मुझको भी तो लिफ्ट करा दे, थोड़ी सी तो लिफ्ट करा दे. Okay, like that. So it's an Hindi song. Song name is Lift Kara De by Adnan Sami. Sorry for yeah, I listen so many Hindi songs. Or if you can tell me the translated version of Lift Kara De also. Okay. All right, clear? Sin x plus 2. Now tell me, y is equals to sin x minus 1. How will you shift it? How will you plot this? So for that, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to plot the graph of sin x. This is how sin x look like. Now I need to drag, just literally drag this graph 1 unit, because minus 1 is so 1 unit downward. Can you see minus a means shift downwards how many units? A unit. So I need to drag it 1 unit downward. So this is your minus 1, this is your minus 2, correct? Now what I'm going to do is, so this is 1 unit. If you pull it downward, this point will be here. So this is how your graph of sin x minus 1 will look like. And a minus 1 will be, sorry, minus 1, no, sorry, wrong. Okay, so 0 will come at minus 1. So this is how your graph will look like. Can you see there is always 1 unit, everywhere it is 1 unit difference, 1 unit. And here can you see every time 2 unit difference is maintained. Okay, all right, clear? All right, now very easy. So if you have to plot the graph of 2 raised to power x plus 5, how do you do that? So first you plot the graph 2 raised to power x. So that's why we have studied now the graph of some standard function a raised to power x. This is how your graph of a raised to power x looks like. So obviously a raised to power x passes through. I told you 0, 1 is the point. So y is 1. Now plus 5. So what we need to do is, मुझको भी तो lift करा दे. So lift this graph 5 units above. So the moment you lift this graph 5 units above, what will you get? You all know. है ना? So it is like that. So it will pass through, the same shape will maintain, but can you see there is always 5 units gap. Okay. All right. Now mod x minus 4. है ना? Mod x minus 4. So you know how does the graph of mod x look like? V-shaped, and it is passing through the origin. The V point will be at origin. Now mod x minus 4. So this is mod x. Now mod x minus 4. What we need to do is, we need to pull this. We need to drag this curve. We need to drag this graph 4 units down. So now earlier the point was at 0, and now the point will be at minus 4. Yes? All right. Clear? So mod x minus 4. Are you drawing it? Are you like sketching it? Make sure that you're sketching it on pen and paper, otherwise you will not get the confidence. It is not a web series. Okay? All right. Now horizontal shift. So till now what we have done is just vertical shift. Okay? 5 units up, 5 units down, like that. Now horizontal shift. So now we are adding or subtracting not from fx but from x. Okay? So again what I'm going to do is, I am going to write y is equals to sine. So y is equals to, let's say, sine x. Okay? So this is your sine x. This is your sine x. All right. Now what I need to plot is y is equals to sine of x plus pi by 2. Correct? let's plot y is equals to sine x plus pi by 2. This is your pi by 2. So I need to, whenever we add a in x, what do? A units left. Now this is tricky. Sometimes we feel intuitively, what do? If we are adding, that means go to the right, but we have to do the opposite thing. Okay, so over here, the moment you see x plus a, so what we need to do, we need to shift this graph a units left. So x plus pi by 2, so shift this graph towards pi by 2 units. So this is your minus pi by 2. So whatever, and this is your 0. Okay, so now if I shift this graph towards left, so this 0 will be where? So now I'm shifting this graph towards the left. How many units? Pi by 2 units. So this graph will be like this, and now it will be like this. So this red color graph, can you see? Now can you see sine x plus pi by 2 is actually cos x? So you didn't even realize this red color graph is a graph of cos x. Dharani is asking a great question. Dharani is asking, ma'am, how to identify if it is a horizontal shift or vertical shift? Very easy. Very easy. Okay. Now let us just understand. So suppose we are having mod of x. Okay. And I am giving you two things. Just tell me. Mod of x plus 4, and this is mod of x plus 4. Dharani is asking a good question. Now tell me, which one is left shift and which one is vertical shift? Just write it down in the chat box. So mod x plus 4. So here what we are doing is, this is my function. So this is my function. So I am adding 4. So this is actually fx plus 4. So whenever you, so basically you are adding something in y. So this is actually, if you realize, this is y plus 4. So you are adding something in y. Here you are adding something in y. You don't even realize it. You are adding something in y. That's why vertical shift, because vertical is y axis. So first one will be vertical shift because we are adding something in complete function. But here can you see, we are adding in x, adding or subtracting in x, not in y. Hai na, if you realize this. So this is actually a so this is your fx and this is actually mod of fx plus. So this is actually, hold on. Yeah. So this is actually fx, this is f of x plus 4. What is f of x plus 4? So just replace x by x plus 4. So that's why you're adding in x. Hai na? So this is your vertical shift and this is your horizontal shift. Clear? Clear, Dharani? Just give me a big thumbs up if you have understood this. Now how will you plot? Now tell me, x plus 1 whole square. How will you plot this? Vertical shift or horizontal shift? Vertical shift or horizontal shift? Who is going to tell me? So first of all, x plus 1 ka whole square we need to plot. So y is equals to x square we have. So what we are doing is, and we need to plot y equals to x plus 1 square. So we are actually adding in x. Adding in x means horizontal shift and we are adding means left shift. So we just have to shift the graph towards left. How many units? 1 unit. So can you see this is finally your x plus 1 square? Now you are getting it, Dharani. Absolutely, absolutely. Now we will do questions. Now you will understand it very nicely. Now mod of x minus 3 hai. 3. Sorry, this is not 4, this is 3. Now tell me, what will you do? Horizontal or vertical? So first of all, what we will do is, we will plot the graph of what? So we will plot the graph of mod x. So mod x will look like this. And now because this we are subtracting. So basically f of x minus a. So that means a units right shift. A units right shift. That's it. A units right shift. So we need to shift the graph. How many units right? 3 units right. 3 units right. So can you see 3 units right? Okay. All right. Clear, clear, clear. Perfect. So this is your mod x and this is your x minus 3. गलती से लिखा है 3 3 3. Correction done. Now question time. Finally, let us understand that how many of you actually understood all the concepts. Okay. Are we ready for it? Yes. Chalo. Let us see this now, how to utilize this concept for the question purpose. So the number of solution of this equation is what we are looking for. Okay. Alright. Mod of x plus 1 is equals to 2 raised to power x. Okay. So mod of x plus 1 is what we need to plot. How to plot? So mod of x will look like this, and because it is mod of x plus 1, plus 1 means left shift. Plus 1 means left shift or right shift. Tell me, left or right shift? So this minus 3 was right shift. Plus 1 will be left shift. This is my graph of mod of x plus 1. Now let me change the color and let me just think about 2 raised to power x. है ना, 2 raised to power x. Now let us plot the graph. Let us do that. So now if I just plot this graph, it will be like this. Okay, and what is this point? Can anybody tell me what will be this point? This point is the moment you put x equals to 0, you get y. Okay, 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 okay. So this point is actually, now understand. So this is your y-axis, and what is this point? Can anybody tell me this point? Can anybody tell me this point? Anybody if can tell me this point? So this is your 1 and this is your minus 1, right? This point is 1. How will you get it? Value of this graph when you put x equals to 0. The moment you put x equals to 0, you get y is equals to 1. है ना? Alright, clear? हाँ, intersection of y. Now help me plotting this curve. Help me plotting this curve, 2 raised to power x. Okay. So graphically we are trying to understand the number of solution, and do you know how to figure out number of solutions of any equation? So whenever you see number of solutions of this equation, fx is equals to gx, right? So now what we need to do is, in the same graph you have to draw the LHS part of graph, in the same graph draw RHS part of graph, and the number of point of intersection of fx and gx will give you number of solution. Do you know this concept? Do you know this concept? So what I'm trying to do is, this is my fx and this is my gx. I'm trying to plot both. Fx already plotted. Now I'm going to plot gx, and I will look into it that how many points of intersection will be there. Okay, so be careful in that. Okay, so now a 2 raised to power x will be like this. 2 raised to power x will pass through this point. Okay, 2 raised to power x will pass through this point. So this is 1 and this is 2. 2 points so definitely are there. 2 points are definitely are there. है ना? So that means A option is wrong. B option is also wrong. Now the competition is between either 2, like 2, can you see 2 intersection points are there, or more than 2? Just tell me. Will it be more than 2? Now there are 2 options. How to increase, how to like plot the graph over here. So the graph actually will look like this. Yes, the graph look like this. So can you see 1, 2, 3, there are 3 points of intersection. This point will be some point of confusion. 3 points of intersection. Now there must be some students who will be like, ma'am, how are you saying? Because I think there will be some student who might be like, ma'am, yahan se to if you have drawn nice 2 points I am getting, but from here don't you think it will go like this? No, just tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. Linear and exponential, which one is bigger in the long run? They doesn't meet at infinity. They will meet it right here in finite point. Okay, so this graph I am rejecting. Why? Because I know that my exponential graph will be greater than my linear graph. Why? Because you know that during COVID times, did you hear that? Cases are increasing exponentially. The cases are increasing exponentially, ma'am. Did you hear that? So cases are increasing exponentially. That means what? Exponential increase is always greater than anything, especially linear. Okay. All right. Yes. So Nikhil is asking, ma'am, how to find point of intersection. So whenever you see this type of question wherein you have, okay, whenever you see this type of question, now, whenever you have this number of solution of this and this, है ना? Number of solution of this and this. So you plot the curve. What will you do is you plot the curve. So you plot the curve, both mod x plus 1 and 2 raised to power x. Together you have to plot the curve. And now you just see, just intuitively you can see. You can intuitively just check that this is the point number 1. They are intersecting with each other, right? It is very clear. Now they are intersecting here. They are intersecting here. So total 3 points of intersection are here. Yes. Okay, Sadia. Perfect. Clear. So 3 points of intersection, that is more than 2. Clear, eh? Any doubt? Ma'am, coincidence line, what, ma'am? Karthik, I don't even understand. Coincident lines, they are not lines. The left hand side is a line, the right hand side is an exponential. Exponential curve is not at all a line. Okay, now another transformation. Okay, another transformation, let us understand. Okay. Now, whenever you are given with fx and you have to plot the graph of mod of fx. Mod of fx. Fx and mod of fx, right? Clear? So what will you do? What are the steps? So what you need to do is, so suppose let us just talk about sin x and mod of sin x, correct? So let me give you an example. So suppose sin x is this. Okay, very important. This thing is actually very important. Understand it very, very nicely. Now mod of sin x, how to plot mod of sin x? Anyone can tell me in the chat box, yes or no? Okay, so mod of sin x, if you are here to plot, what you need to do is, first of all, you need to retain all the portion which are on above the x-axis. Now tell me whatever it is which is above x-axis. So this is above x-axis. This is also above x-axis. This is also above x-axis, right? What is below x-axis? Tell me. This is below x-axis. This is also below x-axis. So you need to delete that portion which is below x-axis, and you need to take mirror image of this portion about x-axis. Okay. So retain the positive value of fx. So we are retaining the positive values, but take mirror image of negative value. So we need to take mirror image. So this black portion will become like this. This black portion will become like this. This black portion will become like this. So now if you erase the black portion, this is the graph of mod of sin x. So this is the graph of mod of sin x. Okay. Hannah? Got it? Got it? I think many students have already got it. Okay. So 2 steps we need to do. You can read both the steps over here. Okay. Leave the positive part as it is. You don't have to touch positive part as it is. But for negative part, you have to take mirror image about x-axis. All right. Okay. Now we are here to plot the graph of mod of x square minus 3. So there are multiple steps involving. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to start with x square. Now second, I need to make x square minus 3. How do I do that? Remember, I am subtracting 3 from my fx. So this is a downward shift of 3 units. Right or wrong? So to go from x square to x square minus 3, what do we need to do? I need to pull this graph. How many units? 3 units downward. I need to pull this graph 3 units downward. So can you see that if I pull this graph 3 units downward, it will look like this. This is the graph of x square minus 3. Okay, done, done, done. So this is not right shift, downward shift. Who is saying right shift? Who is saying right shift? Adiksha, what happened? Right shift we will do when we are doing it in x. Right now, did you see x square? I have subtracted 3 from x square, not from x. Okay, so this is your downward shift. Again, right side बोल रहे हो आप? No. Just tell me x square and x square minus 3. So this is your fx and this is your fx minus 3. Fx minus 3 will be downward shift now. Ooh. Fx minus 3 will be downward shift. Clear? Right? Downward shift of 3 units. Alright. So now you've got your x square minus 3. So this is your x square minus 3. Now from x square minus 3 you have to do what? Mod of x square minus 3. Now we will apply mod wala. Now we are going to apply mod wala. How to apply mod wala? Tell me. How to apply mod? Okay. It is going to become like this. So positive part I am keeping as it is. Retain the positive part. Retain that part which is above x-axis. Now what we need to do about this? And tell me what is this point? Can anyone tell me what is this point? This point is minus 3. Obviously 3 units down we have done. So this is minus 3. Now we have to take mirror image of this part about x-axis. So this black color graph which is passing with plus 3 because it is actually taking mirror image now. So if it is minus 3 it will become plus 3. So your mod of x square minus 3 is looking like this. Like this. Clear? Everybody clear? This is your plus 3 by the way. Okay. And what about these 2 points? These 2 points will remain same. Just like your x square minus 3. So x square minus, so this is minus root 3. This is plus root 3 na? है ना? Because x square minus 3 becomes 0 at what point? Plus minus root 3. Chalo. Now who is going to draw this mod of log x? Yes, looks like w, but it is not w. It is actually like this. It is like this. Looks like curvy w. Curvy w. Now mod of log x. Let's do it. Mod of log x. Mod of log x. So again, what I'm going to do is this point will remain same and this area, this portion will also remain same. Yes, this thing is the same thing. है ना? No prerequisite for this lecture is just that you should know a little bit about basic maths. That's it. है ना? And now we need to take mirror image, so it will look like this. So this blue portion is your mod of log x. Blue portion is mod of log x. So mod of log x now just it is a blue colored graph. Check everybody. किसका सही है? किसका सही है? All right, now these two are very important. We will revise it. Now transformate an fx to f of mod x. Now can you see this? Mod is over here. Mod is over here. Okay. So for mod x, what we need to do is, we will talk about steps a little later. Let us talk about the logic. Okay. So we are here to plot the graph of e raised to power mod x. Let us understand what is happening. So e raised to power mod x is looking like this, ma'am. Very clear. This graph we have clear. But what we need to plot is e raised to power mod of x. Okay, ma'am. All right. Now tell me one thing, that if I put x equals to 2, in e raised to power x, what will I get? So ma'am, you will get e square, and if you put x equals to 2 in this graph, you will get e square again. That means same thing. So whenever you put the positive quantities, right, whether in e raised to power x or e raised to power mod x, are they giving same values, yes or no? Tell me. If I put x equals to 1 in e raised to power x and e raised to power mod x, so this will also become e raised to power 1. This will also become e raised to power 1. Yes or no? Okay, if I put x equals to 2, same. X equals to 3, same. That means the moment I put positive values, now the graph of e raised to power x and e raised to power mod x is exactly same. That means what I'm going to do is, the right hand side portion of e raised to power x and e raised to power mod x will be matching with each other, yes or no? Right hand side. There is no change for the positive part. Okay? Alright, but the moment I put x equals to negative number, na, suppose x equals to -2. So here I'll be getting -2, but here though still I am getting mod of -2. So which is what? E square. Okay, that means the left hand side is completely different. So left hand side mein, what you have to do is, even if you are putting -2, na, you are still getting e square. So for negative values, you are getting these the same values only. Even if you put -2, so you putting 2, you are getting e square. You putting -2, you are getting e square. What does that mean? This graph will be symmetric about y-axis, my dear students. And this graph will be like this. So what do we understand? So this graph will be symmetric about, just you have to take mirror image about y-axis. So now I will tell you all the steps. Okay? I will tell you all the steps. Let me just remove this. I will tell you all the steps. Ma'am, for I value, क्या बोल रहे हो? Iota. JEE main and advanced, I am not understanding. What are you saying? है ना? तो what are the steps? Now let us talk about the steps and come back. So steps to perform f of mod x. If from fx you have to go f of mod x, what you have to do is, you have to do this. Leave the graph of fx for x greater than or equals to 0. That means the RHS graph is absolutely fine. The right hand side of the graph is absolutely as it is, absolutely no change. Okay? Alright. But what about the left part? So left part you have to delete. So delete the left part, delete the LHS part, and you have to take mirror image of the graph of fx. Okay, about y-axis. Basically this graph is symmetric about y-axis. Right hand side graph will be actually, repeat, yeah, I am repeating only one more time. Okay, now you just tell me. Now let us understand all the steps. Let us understand all the steps. Okay, so step number 1, right hand side of the graph is as it is. Yes ma'am. Delete the left hand side portion. Second step. Yes ma'am. And take mirror image about this, about y-axis. Okay. Alright. Clear? That's it. This is your graph. Done, done. This is your graph. What are you waiting for? You are done. Very easy graph. So you just have to remember f of mod of x is symmetric about y-axis. है ना? We will revise everything. Do not worry. We will revise everything. Yeah, so e raised to power x, so I have already told you, ना क्या किया? Step by step. चलो step by step one more time. First of all, right hand side we have retained. So did you notice right hand side of the graph we have retained? है ना? This is right hand side and we have to take symmetry about left hand side. Done. Okay. Now another question. Are we ready for another question? Yes. Are we ready for another question? All right, so the another question says that mod of x square minus 5 mod x plus 6. Okay, so mod of x square minus 5 of mod x plus 6 is what we need to form. How will we do that? So first of all, let us take f of x equals to x square minus 5x plus 6. So f of mod x will become what? Tell me. So x will be replaced by mod x. So mod of x square minus 5 of mod x plus 6. Right? So it's actually the same question if you have noticed. Fx is given and f of mod x we need to figure out. So we will only focus about f of x first and then we are done. Okay. So f of x, so this graph is x square minus 5x plus 6. So this graph, this is quadratic equation having two roots, x equals to 2 and x equals to 3. So first of all we have two roots, upward facing parabola also we know. Right, this is an upward facing parabola. Why? Because leading coefficient is 1. Okay. And one more thing, what is the y-intercept? What is the y-intercept? I mean that at what point it will intersect the y-axis. You put x equals to 0, you will get y is equals to 6. You put x equals to 0, you get y is equals to 6. Clear? Yes, your chat is visible. Right. Your chat is absolutely visible. है ना? So this is the graph of, we have got the points, upward facing parabola passing 3 to 3 points. So you'll be able to, so this is the graph of fx. Now what we need to do is f of mod x. What are the steps? Steps for f of mod x. Tell me. So ma'am, very easy. So right hand side you have to just retain. So this graph you are seeing now, that this graph is absolutely fine. And you just have to delete the left hand side of the graph. Right? Yes, Dharani. And now what ma'am, you have deleted this portion. Now what you can do is, you have to take mirror image of this right hand portion about y axis. So this is the like mirror, this will act as a mirror and this will come here. So it will look like this. This point will be minus 2, this point will be minus 3. So W, now this is W. This graph is actually representing this curve. Okay, I will show you the animation also. I will show you the animation also. क्या हो गया ये? Okay, so yes, this is done, है ना? This is done. This we have already done. This is done. ठीक है? Clear? चलो, next question. Let us move on to the next problem. So here it is, the problem is, so problem is saying that number of solution of this and this are. The number of solution of this and this are. Let us see how many of you are able to do correctly. Chalo, this is your question. Let's see in the chat box how many solutions. So first of all, what you will do is you will try to plot this. Try to plot this. X square plus 6x plus 8. Who will be able to plot this curve? Class 11th and 12th both. Yoshita, this is for class 11th and 12th both. And if you are in 11th class now, then this will be more beneficial for you. So x square plus 6x plus 8, correct? How to plot this curve? So first of all, to plot this curve, we don't need to have anything. It's just that, can I just do this? X plus 2 and x plus 8. Is that fine? Sorry, x plus 4. plus 2 and x plus 4. Correct? Clear? Now x plus 2, x plus 4. So what are the roots of this equation? Tell me. Minus 2 and minus 4. Right? This is, and what is the intercept is 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the curve of, this is the parabola. This is the parabola. Correct? Yes? Okay. है ना? Right. Tell me yes. Okay. And now y is equals to e raised to power x. Okay. So y is equals to e raised to power x. So obviously it will pass through. E raised to power x will pass through this point. Remember I told you exponential curve passes through 0, 1. So this is, it will pass and it will go like this. Tell me that what will happen. So there must be some students who might debate. There is a controversy. Ma'am, only 2 solutions. Okay. So now there are 2 possibilities. The 2 possibilities says that, okay ma'am, maybe this curve might go like this. है ना? And this is like this. This parabola will like this. Okay. And another thing will be, कि no ma'am. So only 2 solutions in that case, right? But another thing will be, no ma'am, wait a minute. This will actually, the exponential curve will be like this, and after a point, it will actually cross. It will not go here, but I have a limited board, right? So it will actually cross the parabola. What will be the case? Always exponential curve will always cross quadratic. Which one is greater, you tell me? Which one grows faster? Which one grows faster? Exponential curve is the maximum growing curve. Okay. So after some time it will actually cross your quadratic. So that's why 3 solutions. I will show you the final curve also. Right. So this is, yeah, this is your final curve. है ना? This is your final curve. So this will be like this, and this will exponential curve cross your thing. Okay. So how many solutions over here? 3 solutions. Okay. All right. Clear? Now there are some more standard transformation which we have to clearly see and understand. Okay. All right. So suppose you have fx and you want to draw the graph of minus fx. So suppose maybe fx you have and you want to draw the graph of minus, so sin x and minus sin x also you can do, right? Or log x and minus log x also you can do. Just a like random guess that what will be the final transformation. Just tell me. Final transformation. What will be the steps? Okay, so fx and minus fx. So what we are doing is actually, if this is y, we are actually applying minus sign to the y. So the steps will be very easy. You have to take the mirror image of the curve about x-axis as a plane mirror. So completely mirror image about x-axis you have to take. Whatever was above, you have to make it down. Whatever was down, you have to make it above. Just flip it. Flip it. Interchange positive and negative, because y is becoming minus y. Okay. So suppose we are having, yeah. So suppose mod x is that curve and you want to draw what? You want to draw minus of mod x. Clear? Suppose mod x is that curve, right? Mod x is that curve, and if you want to draw minus mod x, then what you have to do? Tell me. क्या करोगे आप? So you have to take mirror image. So whatever was positive, na, what was above the x-axis, you have to shift it like this. Okay. So this is your minus of mod x. One by one we will revise it. Every transformation we will go through it. Okay. So I hope that this is done. And now another. So for example, you have to draw this. Y is equals to minus x square minus 3. So for that, first of all, draw x square minus 3. X square minus 3 curve is upward facing parabola, right? And so this is your x square So first is you draw x square. Drag x square 3 units below. So you will get x square minus 3, है ना? By shifting this downward shift 3 units. Okay? Downward shift 3 units. Downward shift 3 units. So x square minus 3. Now what you need to do is third thing is what you need to do is you have x square minus 3. Now what you need to do is just take mirror image. Taking mirror image. So this will be minus of x square minus 3. So basically this portion you are seeing now, this portion if I talk about now, so this portion I'm gonna erase it from here and I'm going to make so this is the point. So this is how it would be. Did you see? I have shifted this over here. So what was positive? I did it negative. Now what about this? So it was in a negative side. So I will delete this portion and I will just take the mirror image like this. So yes, now the finally minus of x square minus 3 will look like this. So this is it, and this and this. That's it. That's it. So negative to positive, negative to positive. So below to above, above to below, above to below. Clear है क्या? Clear है तो बताओ. So this is how the graph of minus of x square minus 3 will look like. Okay, final graph of minus of x square minus 3 will look like. ठीक है? All right, clear? चलो, okay. So this is what you have to do. This is the final step, है ना? So you have to take the complete mirror image about x-axis. So ऊपर वाला नीचे, नीचे वाला ऊपर. चलो. Now this. Now if you have to plot e raised to power. अच्छा, now another transformation. Another transformation is here. So earlier what we did is y to minus y. So we were applying negative sign is in fx. But here we are applying negative sign in x. So what we need to do is for this the same thing we are going to do, and we are going to take the mirror image about y-axis. Did you notice? So this is y-axis, right? So this is it. F of x to f of minus x में y-axis के about लेना है. So did you notice this is your e raised to power x, and now what we need to do is y-axis will act as a mirror. So this will come over here and this will come over here. So this is how your e raised to power minus x will look like. है ना? So this is the graph of e raised to power minus x. Did you notice? Right? Clear? Okay. Now log of minus x, who is going to tell me? Draw it and tell me. So first of all we will talk about y is equals to, ma'am, log of x. Then we will talk about, now. So log of x will look like this. What about, ma'am, this? So I'll choose white color. So it will actually look like this. This is log of minus x about y-axis. This is log of plus x. Okay. All right. Clear? About y-axis you have to take. All right. Clear? Yeah. So this is the thing about y-axis if you take. So this was log of x and this is log of minus x. Correct? Okay. Now f of x ko what we are going to do is f of, now double transformation. So here can you see, very important, double caught up, ma'am. Caught up means what? Are you not able to follow me? Now can you see double transformation? So remember we saw fx to mod fx, right? And we saw fx to f of mod x. Now we are combining those two things. Okay, all right. So what to do over here? Understand. Okay, so the very first thing is the right hand side portion, so you have to retain. The RHS portion that you have to retain. Okay, RHS portion first of all retain, है ना? Just like that, so you have to perform that f of mod x wala thing. Delete left hand side portion and take mirror image about y axis. So suppose if this is your curve, right? If this is your curve, so right hand portion is exactly same. You have to delete the left hand side of portion, right? So this is your first point. Delete the left hand side of portion. Take the mirror image of fx about y axis. Now you deleting this, and now what you need to do is you need to take mirror image about this. So just replicate it. It will be like this. And now what we need to do is, because mod of fx, what do we do? Whatever the below thing is, you have to take it the mirror image about x axis. So final graph will be looking like this, the small this. So steps are clear or not? Okay, so let us understand with the help of the example. Okay, so understand what is happening. Suppose f of x is your x square minus 2x minus 2. Now what will be f of mod x? Whole mod. So whole mod you will apply. So it will be x square minus 2x minus 2, and on x also you have to apply mod, so it is mod of. So can you see? Okay, so we need to perform the combined step, understand, है ना? So first of all, let's plot this graph, x square minus 2x minus 2. X square minus 2x minus 2. X square minus 2x minus 2. Correct? So minus 2 is that point wherein it will intersect the y-axis. This is the point. Okay. Are we able to split it? Upward facing parabola. Can anybody tell me the value of the vertex? Where will be the vertex? So vertex is x equals to minus b by 2a. So ma'am, it is going to be minus of minus 2 by 2. So this is your 1. Okay, so this is your 1. Vertex is this. So the graph will look like this. This is your graph because this is your vertex, right? This is your x coordinate. You can go on and find the roots also. So roots also are like this. All right. So this is the graph of fx. Now what you need to do is you need to plot the graph of mod of f of mod x. How will you do that? So first step is delete LHS. Okay, and right hand side will exactly same. So you have to delete this. Second step is take mirror image about y-axis. So you are having, actually this graph you are right now is what? This is your f of mod of x. This is the process of f of mod x. Now third, what you need to do is, because f of mod x is here, now you have to apply f of mod of x. So for that what you need to do is take mirror image about x axis now. So whatever there is below, so that you will have to above. So this is how your graph will look like. Point is minus 2, so this will become 2. So the final graph. See. This is the graph. Voice is breaking kya? Sound is less. Is it fine now? Is it fine now? Is it better? ठीक है. So this is the final graph. Okay. Now let's have a quick revision. Let's have a complete revision. ठीक है, one by one. Now you have to tell me. Let's have whatever we have done till now. Now we will revise it one by one. Okay. So first, tell me the graph of ln x. You know, you all know. Revising through a problem, by the way. Okay, this is the best way. Now tell me graph of log x. Graph of log x is this. Now what you have to tell me is graph of mod of log x. Just tell me what to do. Mod of log x. So this is actually fx to mod of fx. What do we do in this? Take mirror image about x-axis. So mirror image about x-axis. That's it. This is the, so this will go up. This is mirror image about x-axis, right? Okay. Now what is next? What is next? Now again we are back to same. Okay. Now fx to mod f of mod x. What do we do in this transformation? Mirror image about. So in this transformation actually there are two steps. So delete the LHS portion. Delete LHS of the portion. So LHS, there is no portion, my dear students. In LHS there is no portion, so I don't have to delete it. And now once there is nothing in your LHS, now take mirror image about y-axis. About y-axis. Okay. So mirror image about y-axis, that means as it is, so this will be like this. So yes, this is also here. Both will be here. Both will be here. Both will be here. Okay. One by one we are going tougher. And now the next is again mod of log of mod x. So basically what we are going to do is f of x ko f of mod x and mod x. Okay. So in here please understand that first this transformation is not that simple. First step is just go for f of mod x. The second step is f of mod of x. Okay. You can't change the order. Okay. So one by one. First of all, fx to f of mod x we just did. We just took that mirror image about RHS. This is what this graph is, f of mod x. And now you have to take mirror image about x-axis. Now you have to take. So second step is this. First step was delete LHS. Just put it right on the left hand side. And now next step is just reverse it, like flip it about x-axis. So finally you are going to get this final graph of final footage of Ninja Ma'am sweating. Okay. So yes, mod of log of mod x. Clear? All right. Okay. All right. So now I'll give you a homework also. So this will be homework. Okay, this will be homework for you. And this we are going to solve it right away. Okay. Chal. So 9 minus x square is equals to 4 raised to power x is what we need to number of solution. ठीक है? So 9 minus x square. 9 minus x square. So this is downward facing parabola. Downward facing parabola. Whose roots will be what? Whose roots will be what? Roots of this equation will be what? Plus minus 3. Yes or no? So this is minus 3, this is plus 3, downward facing parabola. The moment you put x equals to 0, it will become 9. So this is how your parabola will look like. And now this is 4 raised to power x. Tell me how many solutions, easy peasy or not. So 2 solutions. 2 solutions, right? Why voice is breaking? I can't do anything about the voice. Okay. Chalo, now it's fine now. Now it's fine, I hope. Okay. Is it better now? हाँ ठीक है, तो I am not going. Question is clear? Okay, this is clear. Now let us do it right away. No homework. 4 minus x square ka mod is equals to this. So first of all, 4 minus x square ka mod. So first what I'm gonna do is I am going to. Acha, tell me one thing. Can I just write it mod of x square minus 4? Same thing, na? Because we are inside the modulus. So okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reproduce this. So first I'm going to draw x square. Second, I am going to draw x square minus 4 by pulling the graph. How many units? 4 units downward. Now you understand when to pull downwards, when to put right. Okay. And this is third is mod of x square minus 4 mod. Okay. So x square will look like this. This is your x square. Now x square minus 4 will look like this. Okay. And now third part is you have to take mod of it. So it will actually, so this is how, what are these points? X square minus 4. So it will become 0 at plus minus 2 and plus 2. And now modulus, we have to take mirror image about, right? So it is going to be like this. And this is, so this is your 4, this is your minus 2, this is your plus 2. Now 2 raised to power minus x. So now you remember this graph. Okay, I'll just plot the graph one more time. Okay. Okay, now 2 raised to power minus x is what you need to plot. Understand? One more thing. Okay. So 2 raised to power x will look like this. है ना? अब now f of x shifting to f of minus x. Okay. All right. Yes. So what we need to do is mirror image about y-axis, my dear students. So this is mirror image about y-axis. So this is how, this is 2 raised to power minus x. Right? 2 raised to power minus x. Okay, remember when a is less than 0, so this is 2 raised to power x actually. So this is it. Okay, so now I'm going to draw over here. So this is how it look like. Tell me how many points of intersection? How many points of intersection? This is the last question, by the way, my dear students. How many points of intersection? One, 2, 3, 4. 4 points of intersection, right? 4 points of intersection. So final answer is 4 points. Okay. All right. So I guess that we are going to keep this session till now. You revise all the graphical transformation nicely, and we are going to have one more session specially for class 12th students right after the application of derivative session. Okay, so that will involve plotting the curve with the help of derivative of a function, right? So in that we will use some important concepts of calculus to sketch the curve. Okay, so this was all about basics of the graphs, and now we will move one notch higher, one level advanced, and we are going to cover like how to plot an increasing function, how to plot a decreasing function, right? All these things. But for that we will need basic knowledge of application of derivatives. So once we will be done with application of derivatives, then we will go towards the second session of graph. Okay. All right. So this is me, Namrata, signing off. Please drop few beautiful comments for me in the comment section. This is me, Namrata. Bye bye. See you.